Speaking first will be our JD graduate, Johnathan Underwood. Johnathan earned a BS in chemistry and a PhD in synthetic organic chemistry at the University of Southampton in England. At Cornell Law School, among Johnathan's many accomplishments have included Moot Court Chancellor, article editor for the Cornell International Law Journal, student representative to the Faculty Appointments Committee. This fall, Johnathan will be joining the Philadelphia office of the Aiken Gump law firm, where he will specialize in patent litigation. Please join me in welcoming our JD speaker, Johnathan Underwood.
Good afternoon, everyone. To my fellow classmates graduating today, congratulations, law school is over. No more moaning about it. To our family and friends celebrating our graduation today, congratulations also. Law school is over. No more listening to us moan about it. Instead, we'll be moaning about the bar exam. I've mentioned family and friends, and I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge them, those who are here today, as well as those who couldn't be here today. Getting through law school was made a little bit easier knowing we had their support, even if they didn't understand why we were so concerned about things like personal jurisdiction and in-state activity. And given that today is Mother's Day, I want to wish everyone a happy Mother's Day. When I walked into the law school earlier this week to take my last exam, I thought how each of us graduating today is a little bit like our law school. Outwardly, we look pretty much the same as we did 3 years ago. Perhaps a few more wrinkles and grey hairs here and there. Perhaps we take up a little bit more space. But the biggest changes are on the inside. We've changed a great deal in the last 3 years. All of our experiences have shaped us into what we are today. It's hard to list the myriad things we've learned and done in our time here. We've had good times and bad times, bonny times and bothersome times. Law school has been an intense learning period. Well, certainly for the few weeks before and during finals. Everyone's path to this day is unique, but it all started out with that first day of orientation back in August 2011. That day, we were welcomed by several members of the faculty. Two particular comments caught my attention. Both were on the topic of what you can expect in law school. Professor Holden Smith recounted a story of her experiences as a 1L student. During one brutal winter, she said, her classes were cancelled, and she had no heating in her apartment. What did she do? She took out a casebook, swaddled herself up in bed, and laying under the covers, began to read for the upcoming classes, taking delight in what she was reading and feeling absolutely certain that she had made the right career choice. And later, Professor Johnson put us on alert. You can never take a day off, she said, in response to a question about how much work we needed to do. Well, sheer delight for the gunners in the class, sheer horror for the rest of us normal people. And it was at this point that I, and probably many of you, thought, what on earth have I let myself in for? And the next few days seemed to confirm that thought. For me, reading for classes was like stirring wet concrete with my eyelashes, to borrow Scott Turrell's phrase. I am very happy to say that this is no longer the case. And so over the 3 years, we've learned to think like a lawyer. What are the issues in this case? What were the judges thinking when they reached that decision? How can I craft a legal argument with this material? How much money can I bill for this work? Alongside thinking like a lawyer, we've learned a great deal of substantive law. So many legal doctrines are no longer a mystery. Even property laws rule against perpetuities. Guests, please do ask one of us to explain the rule against perpetuities. I'm only kidding, no one really gets it. Aside from the finer points of law, we've learned many other things at Cornell Law School. On any given day here, there will be food available at a talk or a club event or something similar. During exam times, llamas can help with the stress of finals. Embracing the different types of pasta can really add variety to your meals. And the law school will let you set up a club dedicated to almost any of your interests with any slight legal relationship, be it left-wing politics, right-wing politics, wine tasting, or even clay pigeon shooting. Importantly, as we progressed through law school, we learned a great many skills. especially through activities such as moot court, mock trial, externships, and clinical work. Whether reading old cases or working on current cases, we've encountered our society both at its worst, sadly, and at its best, fortunately, when they've found solutions to those problems. Now, the journey here has not been easy, but we gather here today knowing victory is ours, we made it through, and we've made lifelong friends in the process. And now we look out into a future full of possibilities. While law school has been instrumental in many of the changes we've undergone, some changes are purely incidental, but no less important. When I came to Cornell, I was just a green card holder. Now I am a US citizen, and proud of it. I know some of my classmates have also become citizens during this time, so congratulations to them. I know at least 2 others who need to step up and become citizens, so please do so. And when I moved to Ithaca with my wife, our immediate family was just the 2 of us and our 2 Siamese cats. In just a few months, my wife and I will become parents for the first time to a baby girl. Thankfully, she is due after the bar exam. And I know one of my classmates is also expecting, and several of you also had children during law school. I must say, those of you who had children during law school are truly the brave ones. Now, each of our non-law school changes provide a context for that future full of possibilities. We are all heading out on different career paths to different locations across the country and across the globe. Perhaps as public defenders for the indigent, tax lawyers for the government, clerks for federal or state judges, deal makers in complex transactions, or litigators for when those transactions go wrong. Some of us took a circuitous route to get here, and are proof that you can do whatever you put your mind and effort to. Remember that our future is whatever that we want to make of it. Wherever you start out need not be wherever you end up. After we leave here, we should remember those jarring cases that we studied, those unjust outcomes from the last 250 years of American history. While we have come a long way since the Revolution, we still have much to do. I want my baby girl to grow up in a society that treats her no differently from a baby boy growing up alongside her, or anyone else because of their race, national origin, or sexual orientation, or any other immutable characteristic. The laws in our country must move forward in the name of equality and guard against discrimination. We started at Cornell with a great enthusiasm to be lawyers, and we've learned how to be lawyers. Wherever we go, we should staunchly keep that enthusiasm, and we should couple it with the skills that we have gained whilst here. We should make sure that no matter what our main occupation is, in some way we use our abilities to help our country live up to its first promise of the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for all. And I know that each and every one of us graduating today is now equipped with the skills to do just that. We leave Cornell Law School as lawyers in the best sense. Thank you.